Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hello, ladies.
Welcome back from your vacation. I mean, whatever
No,
conference.
it was not a vacation.
Well, I mean, I stuck on a few days of vacation, but I need a vacation from that conference/vacation and that terrible
Yes.
restaurant dinner that we went to.
Oh my gosh. So disappointing. Yeah.
Right? I don't even think we've
So
told
like
Jen this story.
2 hours to wait for food, and the food, I
Was
haven't heard from anyone that was satisfied with the food.
yeah.
So yeah, but
Well, guys, we should do a review on it next time, maybe.
No,
But
I
for
will
your
feel terrible.
sake-
It's not in Edmonton, and we're not going to tell you where it is.
yes, it's a nice place. Too bad about the food.
Yeah, well, just that one restaurant. Everywhere else I went was great.
yeah. I tried a
So
Jamaican restaurant and it was not Jamaican. Like it was
Really?
very disappointing. Yeah. Like the
Did you
food
tell them?
wasn't
You were like, listen, I'm a OG legit from the streets,
right.
okay?
Food was not good.
hey, guys. The question on everybody's mind these days is where's the Edmonton real estate market headed next? I am sure everybody's flying high thinking it's really great, but maybe it's not quite so great. We're going to find out today because today we've got answers for you. So before we get started, let's do that disclaimer. The content of the show is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal, financial, or real estate advice. For advice specific to your circumstances, you must consult a licensed professional. Realtors on the show will provide tailored real estate guidance only to their exclusive clients. This program is not intended to solicit those already in a service agreement with another realtor. Okay, so welcome to the real estate. I mean, that's not our name. Welcome to Relocation Insider Live. We're here to answer your questions. We like to call it ERIL for short. And on our show, we have Kimberly Graham, who's with Remax River City, known for her wit, honesty, and heart-centered advice.
And that's me. And we also have Joseanne Douglas, also with Remax River City, a powerhouse, if you will, bringing her no-nonsense approach and deep knowledge of the Edmonton market.
And also the amazing Jen McPhillamy from Initial Real Estate and 247 Podcast Hub, making sense of the noise and keeping things real and fresh with creative take.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Okay, so on today's show, we're going to talk all about the real estate market. So what is, where am I? Sorry, I'm in a, I found myself in a wrong spot for a second. Back on track here.
All right, it's all good. We're going to talk about Edmonton stats, all right? So we're basing this off of what the stats that came out for September. So we're a couple of weeks into October, and I think we have some perspective because right before we jumped on this podcast, Jen was asking us about a headline she read and whether or not we thought it was the truth. So what was the headline?
Well, I don't know if it was like really a headline, but just looking at the stats that came out with the market, on the market from the Real Estate Association of Edmonton, you would find that the months of inventory is 3.6 months.
Okay, what does that mean?
That's low. So we look at that because we want to figure out what kind of market we're in with that quick calculation. So if it's greater than 6 months, you're in a buyer's market. If it's 5 to 6 months, you're in a balanced market. And anything lower than 4 or 5 months, you're in a seller's market. So my question was, are we actually in a seller's market? Because I've been hearing from friends trying to sell, and it doesn't sound like a seller's market.
We're definitely not in a seller's market. We have been exiting that for the past 2 months, I feel. It's like, but just slowly creeping. Like some of the definitions for what a balanced market is, it varies because I've seen definitions where a balanced market starts at 4 months of inventory. So like it's also kind of open to interpretation to some extent.
That's right, because the seller's market 4 to 5 months. So if you go with the 4 months for sellers, then you could say balance is like 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Okay, but Can I insert a slightly controversial / maybe new opinion on the matter? Josie Ann is 100% right. It's always micro markets, and it can be micro markets by neighborhood or by product. Okay, so and a downtown condo is going to be in a different micro market than say a condo in Sherwood Park or something like that. So everything is, it depends, right? We like to cosplay as lawyers and have like it depends answers for everything. But I think the reason that even though the statistics are telling us that 3 months we're in a seller's market, the stats are black and white telling us that, but we're insisting that it's not, is because the product that is moving the slowest and the least are single family detached. And single family detached, they're the ones who set the pace for what's actually happening in the market. So right now, that's the product that's moving the slowest. And that is highly unusual. We are looking at townhouses that are flying off the market that 3 years ago you could barely give away. That's an exaggeration, but you guys know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like playing off that, just look at this chart.
Yeah.
Like this chart, the days on market. What? You never see condos. Like, so just so you guys know, the bottom line is like this year and the top line is last year. Like,
yeah.
The top line is this year.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Yeah. Opposite. So what I mean is that the condos are less days on market, which means they're selling faster than everything else.
Versus last year.
Which is crazy. Like we never see that. Like single semi-detached homes is like always popular. But you know what? I think I know why. I feel like I cracked the code. You guys let me know if I'm right or wrong, because like I'm tuning in here from the United States of America, so I'm not really there all the time in trenches with you. So, but based on stats, like tell me these stats are right. I think it's because people can only afford so much. And from when I was doing this, it seems like the average price has gone way up. Looking at a couple stats, I looked at the economic trend report. It comes out quarterly, and it talks about new home prices. And the new home prices are still going up for the single family detached. They're up just over 5%. At 649,000 to 673,000. That's high. That's
really
high. At like a 4% or 5% interest rate, like you got to be having probably a lot of people with income living with you. Whereas if you get a used home, they're about on average 554,000, but that's still high. Like I remember being like, move to Edmonton, come on everybody. How's the average price is like 400,000, and really you probably get something for like 500,000 then. So I don't know. Like I think maybe that's why things are going slower, because people just simply can't afford it, but they might have came here thinking that they could afford it. In addition to that, migration was way down because there was a bunch of temporary foreign workers that left.
Yeah, that's
so yeah, like a lot.
Yeah, those are definitely big economic and demand drivers, and you're not wrong. I also find, like, because I do mostly relocations, so say you take somebody who's moving from the GTA, which is the Greater Toronto Area, into the GEA, because that's not confusing at all, the Greater Edmonton area, and they will sell their house for, let's just say, $1.3 million, and that, whereas that same house here would be that $500,000 or $600,000 house, right? But I mean, there could be various things that happen here. Maybe they have a $500,000 mortgage on it. They've lived there 10 years. They've paid off X number of dollars. And they need some of those funds to parlay into a new house. But what I think the dream of Edmonton home ownership is for a lot, okay, not everybody, but for a lot of out-of-towners, is to buy cash. So because their market is also down, they have less buying power here. And that's okay. That just means they're going to buy a $400,000 house for cash instead of a $600,000 house for cash, because the one that you can buy here for 400 is still really nice, So I think there's all kinds of these little pieces that are coming into it. And we also have like that drop in the non-permanent residents is kind of huge, because that's parlaying.
What do you get it for 400,000? That's nice these days.
Well, I mean, you could probably get a half duplex that's in really decent shape. I think that those are really highly undervalued, in my opinion.
I find a lot of row houses too, like the new ones, they're coming up to that price as well. So like it feels like the prices are not keeping up with, like what you're saying, affordability for clients. So like 400. Have you seen any good half duplexes for 400, Kim? Like, ones that don't need work?
I wouldn't say within the city. I wouldn't say within the city. I think you have to go to the outer boroughs. So I have some
Okay,
clients who
yeah.
bought, and it's a freehold, not a condo. So freehold means not condo. All right. In Devon, and it's like a townhouse, and they paid, I'm going to say $319 for it. And this was just a couple months ago. Brand new build. Like they're not even in yet. They'll get in December.
Like Devon?
Devon. And they're
That's
really
far.
nice. Like super nice. Devon is a sleeper hit in my opinion. I love that town.
But so
And
far. Like
it's really not if you're South End based. Like the majority of
Yeah.
your families in that Windermere area, it is like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Like it's not a big deal. But Devon's not a big deal, especially if you're South End based. But the end units in there, if I recall correctly, were well under. So that's a little bit of a different product, but you're getting brand new everything with a garage, with a little yard in a quiet little town. Like you're getting that.
Mhm.
So, you know,
do you know what the Real Estate Association of Edmonton said?
what's that?
They agreed with us. Or maybe we agreed with them because they might have said it first, but
Okay, but we already knew it. Were you guys surprised at all? Be honest when those stats came out.
no, but let's just hear what they said. So,
Okay.
cooling market, seeing some heat in semi-detached units, exactly what you
Yes.
guys were saying. And just for the regular person that's not a realtor, semi-detached means like duplex, basically.
Half duplex. Yeah.
One wall shared with
Yeah.
2 properties. So,
Yeah.
And then writing on what you were saying, Jen, the reason why semi-detached is like the thing that's hot right now is because that's the next best thing to a detached home. So if they can't afford the detached home, then they're looking towards a semi-detached. So that one was the one with the highest amount of sales, I believe, for last month. So that is the reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. There it is.
oh no, these are sorry.
High rollers.
Yeah, high rollers. This is what we're selling. Look at that condo for 1.2.
Apartment condo for 1.2.
Jeez.
Oof. Can I come over for dinner? I bet your views are awesome.
Probably right downtown. I forgot to
The
grab
Pearl.
that slide. Sorry, Josie. I don't think
Oh,
I have
that's
it. I have
okay.
this one. What's this one here? Okay, here we go. Can anybody read that?
Yeah. So if you can people see your cursor, Jen? If you move it
Yeah,
around?
maybe.
Okay.
So what do we? I can read this actually. So the detached, yeah, the average was what? No. Oh yeah, 540, right? And a semi-detached 429. Like that's like
Huge.
110,000 difference. Like for basically sometimes the same size. So
Often they're the same product. Honestly, it could be built by, say, Pacesetter, same layout, same finishes, same. One has an attached wall and one doesn't, and you're saving that amount of money. That's why I don't think half duplexes are bad.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
think
entry level.
it's probably a great option.
Yeah.
And what else do we
3.6
have
months
here?
inventory.
What's that?
3.6 months of inventory. I mean, that's edging over into the 4-month range. And I mean, ever since then, I don't think it's gotten better. I think that we're hitting, it's not a crash. I will say this. I think it's more like a soft landing and a plateau than a crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're still doing, we're not far off from last year's numbers too when it comes to sale price. So like if we were to zoom out and look at the bigger picture, it doesn't look like a crash, and the decline is not steep, like we were saying, it's just soft.
I'm so sorry. I'm having like a major freaking problem with this. Like I can't even see, like it's not showing me. Can anybody change it? Like can you look underneath to change
Yeah, we're on the 3 now. Is that what you want to look at?
Is it?
Or...
Oh God,
yeah,
thank
there
God.
we go.
Okay, yeah. Mine's not showing it. I'm like, I don't know what happened. So
It's all right. We just really wanted to see Jen's face. So like, here's Jen. Here we
Oh,
go.
did we do that, Kim?
If you guys are, yeah, I can do that along the
I didn't
Yeah,
know
so
you could do that.
yeah, you
Wait,
can do it,
can
but
I do that?
yeah, but
Did I do that?
yeah, change it.
Maybe we want to kick one of you guys off. Look, now it's just us.
That's
There we
funny.
go. Now, and the
Yeah,
people listening to
okay.
this, not watching, have no idea what we're doing. And we're just being silly girls right now. Okay, let's get back to the topic at hand. All right. So, what would you guys tell a seller right now? They want to list.
I would say to price it right, like maybe
Yeah.
just you don't want to, like 2019. Holy crap, 2020. We talk about this a lot, but like I don't know if it's gonna go there. Probably, hopefully not.
Oh
But the
God.
prices are pretty high for like Edmonton, what's happening in the economy. I don't think that the economy is super strong right now. And so if you end up being in this like stuck position where the buyer's market stronger and stronger and stronger and you start chasing down the market, you're gonna be hooped.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what would you do?
Yeah. I think you have to price ahead of the market. That's
Yeah.
what I would tell my clients.
Head of the
Like,
market. So explain how that works.
okay. So everybody wants to date and buy and bring home the equivalent of the house prom queen. Okay. Like we all want that. So if your house doesn't look like the prom queen, and that's okay, by the way, that's okay. You don't have to have the prettiest house in the block. You just have to price it accordingly. And there are exceptions to the rule, of course. Like sometimes you can overprice a listing and it'll sell. This does not constitute actual real estate advice. Like don't overprice your listing. But let's just say the market is telling you 475. Okay. And in the past, you could maybe price it at 500 and you would still sell within a week and you might get between 475 and 480. And sure, you should be priced at 470 because the market is not going up. I don't think prices are falling drastically, but they're adjusting enough down. And if your realtor is telling you, like I always have these conversations with my clients and just in general, hey, look, like here's a bunch of comparables that sold over the last week. I've been watching them. They went pending. They were on the market less time. They were priced higher, but they sold for way less and they're better houses. Like they're bigger or they have more upgrades or whatever the case may be. Those are real things. Like those are real things. So there's pricing it for what we think it is today and also adjusting as the market changes. That is so, so important because that's where I actually think most sellers listen to their agents up front, but it's a really tough adjustment. And our hearts are with you. Our hearts are with you, but it's really hard to have these conversations with people and watch their faces fall. It's like being the Grim Reaper of real estate. So that's generally,
Yeah.
yeah.
And another thing to tell them is, forget about what your neighbor sold for last month, or forget
Yeah.
about what you heard in the news last month, because last month is not what's going on currently. And like you said, Kim, stay ahead of the market, because if you keep cutting, you're on the market for longer, and the longer you're on the market, the more buyers think, okay, what's wrong with this property?
Yeah.
So just price it right. If you even price it low, you might even get multiple offers depending on how it looks in the neighborhood. So it's in your best interest as a seller to price it in according to where the market is trending.
Yeah, like even if you have a property on your block or close to you that is, I don't know, a few hundred or like tens of thousands lower, you're like, well, I did all this stuff. Mine's better. It's kind of divey. It's like, well, if that one's not selling, then it's overpriced too. So you shouldn't use that as a basis to add like your extras.
Yeah.
Your house is probably like that price, and then that house needs to just come down even more.
Yeah. And you know what else is a really good metric that you guys should be asking your realtors, and I know the three of us do this, is look at the trending stats with expired and then terminated. So sometimes what we do, if we want to adjust a price, we might do a new price with the terminate relist. That tends to be more effective often than just a new price. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who their listing expired and they're choosing not to relist it, or they took it off the market early and they're choosing not to relist it anytime soon. I have noticed a vast increase in single family detached, specifically in the outer boroughs or for houses built 2000 and newer, where there was so much inventory. And this is not a catastrophe or anything, but there was so much inventory, and now we're seeing it just like edge its way out. And I tell my clients all the time, I'm like, the more your neighbors go off the market, the better for you. But then new listings come.
Speaking of inventory, look at this. So inventory is another sign that we're trending. What we're saying is inventory's up. And guess what?
19.2%.
Wow.
Sales are down.
Yeah.
Inventory's up. Sales are down. Anybody remember what supply and demand is? Inventory's up. Sales are down. That means more supply, less demand. means also buyer market coming. So I'm going to just quick give a lesson on some what lagging indicators mean. So if anybody wants to look at stats and be like, yeah, the market's hot, it's awesome. Well, you are going to have to go back in time because it's called a lagging indicator. It is what happened already. So how we predict the future is we look at lagging indicators and we look at trends of what's happening with those lagging indicators, and you sprinkle in a little bit of experience and intuition, and then you know kind of what's happening. Like you guys can all tell when you go, like there's a difference of like booking your showings and getting all of them accepted with no other comments other than, oh, if your buyer's interested, we're really flexible and we're very motivated, versus like, no, we don't have any times. Actually, we're gonna like, do overlapping showings because it's really busy and we're accepting offers in 24 hours. Like, you know what I mean? It's not, that's how you can tell. Like, and only really realtors see that. Like, that's not something like the news is going to tell you, or you're not going to get it in one of these reports. So I think it's really important when you're looking at the market and to get the real pulse of the market, you need to speak to somebody that's like in the trenches.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100%. So,
and other thing that I have to show you guys. This one. Oh yeah, there's that inventory. So it's interesting. Like, it's definitely not as bad as 2019, 2020. I couldn't really actually find those like stats, like how they have it here. They only went back to 2022. So I had to go back to my other notes that for when I was doing this, like in my history files. And you guys cannot believe this. Like our inventory, 5298.
What was that?
We were peaking. Oh, this is right now.
Okay.
In 2019, we were just about at 20,000. And I found out the sales. Yeah, the inventory we were holding. The sales for all of 2019 for just Edmonton was 11,540.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of sales, right? We don't have that many sales, but we also don't have a lot of inventory. So it's probably the only thing that's really saving what's on the market is the fact that there's not a ton of inventory.
Yeah, like it's not a ton. I think it's really interesting. That's a really interesting exercise in perspective, because if you're looking at 20,000 units versus 5 or 6,000, and that's a year over year. So September 2019 is what she's talking about. That changed by September 2020. It really did. But the reality is, I totally lost my train of thought on that one because I kept thinking about September 2020. Do we know the stats on that one? No. It's a perspective shift, though. That's what I was going to say. It's a perspective shift. So if you guys are used to stuff selling in 5 days and now it's taking 50 days, well, in 2019, it took 100 days, right? So,
God, 100 days. And that was before we even saw the cumulative amounts. Like nowadays, you can see the cumulative days on market. Imagine if we saw that before. It would be way worse than 90 days because everybody was just like relisting.
Yeah. So for those of you listening who don't know what we're talking about, when you look at realtor.ca, it'll say on there, not our system, which is Paragon, realtor.ca, it'll say 2 weeks on market, 14 days on market, whatever the case may be. And our system, it will show the same. But if I've, say, terminated and relisted with a new price, and say before that I was on the market for 3 weeks, it'll show the cumulative days on market number underneath. The only way to get that to go away is to have 45 days in between the two dates. So if you're going to terminate today, wait that 45 plus days, and then it will have no cumulative days on market.
So a couple things, I guess, like in addition to pricing it right, or like pricing it ahead of the market, or is that what you called it? I think it's also like really important to make sure that you're even like more perfect with your advertising, more perfect with the information on the property, because once, especially as inventory increases, people or homes with the same amount, the popular homes like the detached homes more are available. No one's going to want to go out and look at 25 homes. So they're going to just like look for their like perfect home. So they're going to add more and more criteria that they want to like whittle down the homes to. If you're not putting in all information about your home that could help it be found in one of those searches, then you're kind of just doing yourself a disservice, which we talked about before. But I think that's also important as this market's changing for sellers.
I think it's true. And I mean, there's a lot of ways to make your house look really good without sinking tons of money into it either. Like, honestly, even just making decluttering is always going to like decluttering and cleaning, painting, that kind of stuff. Nobody likes to paint. Well, that's not true. There are people who like to paint, but in general, it's not people's favorite thing. However, it's one of the biggest bang for your buck things that you can do. And even offering things like this, all right, because we want to create opportunities for buyers to say yes to your home. So if you have, say, a lot of TV wall mounts, right? It's like you and your 3.5 children and everybody's got TV wall mount here, here, here. You've got 5 TV wall mounts and you want to bring them with you. That's fine. We're going to note that as an exclusion, which I could probably do a whole podcast on exclusions and the horror stories that come with all of that, guys. But why don't you put, hey, like we really want to take these wall mounts with us, like, you know, but we will patch and paint so you guys don't have to. Do you know how much buyers would like eat that for breakfast? Like we need to stop as sellers, and this isn't picking on anyone in particular and whatever, but we need to stop as sellers expecting buyers to buy our problems when we're not in a seller's market. That's all. And hope they won't notice at the home inspection. Hope they won't notice that the toilet leaks or whatever. No, they're going to notice. Trust me. They're going to notice.
So cleaning, like decluttering is, it sounds like the simplest thing because you don't have to spend any money if you don't want to, but it makes a huge difference. Like a buyer walks in and there is, you know, things in disarray, then it has less value to them. Whereas that same home, if it was staged nicely or, you know, excessive things are removed, it has a more value. Like nothing has been put into the property. You just remove things, organize things, and it feels better and it's more attractive. It don't have to spend any money, but take the time to declutter. Like if you're going to do one thing, do that.
And I will tell you this, if you're like, obviously I was about to call Kim and Josie Ann, and they would be calling you Jen, but you're in the States. So that's a little your fault. But they're going to call me and Josie Ann in April because we're going to be listing their house. Start decluttering today. I promise you. And like call us today and we will come over and tell you exactly where to start. And if you are like, look, I don't have a lot of stuff to declutter. I don't actually have a lot of stuff. I just have too small of a house. Ipso facto while we're selling, just pack it up tidily and put it in your garage. Now, here's another tip to make a mess look like not a mess. Go to U-Haul or Home Depot or something and get boxes that are all the same size and shape. Trust me in this. Trust me. The medium-sized ones you can get from Home Depot are the best. All the same shape, and put all your stuff in it and then stack those neatly. It almost looks invisible. It looks invisible because it just looks like a tidy pile. It's like weird little things that you guys can do. If you hire us for a listing in April, Joseanne and I will bring you boxes. I swear to God. Only for April listings though.
The good thing is that the prices really went up in the last couple of years. So if you bought your house like 5 years ago, there's a good chance that you still have enough equity to sell and be okay. Like you'll be okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So let's just go around the table here. And let's just say a couple. Like I'm gonna start, and then I'll let you guys finish off your final thoughts on the market. My thought is if you're a condo owner, now just looking at math, if you're a math person, people always in Edmonton would go with the detached home or a semi-detached without condo fees because the price was always low enough where when you add the mortgage and the condo fee, the condo was always a lifestyle choice. It was always more expensive. But because the prices now have inflated so much in Edmonton, there's probably good opportunities to get condos where your actually cost per month is going to be lower than or more affordable than a detached home. So this one's for the condo sellers. If you were wanting to sell, but you just haven't because the condo market's been kind of soft, this might be your opportunity. And it's kind of showing that in the stats. So people still need places to live. It might have slowed down a bit, but there's people are always in any market are always buying and selling. And so that's kind of like my tip based on this month's stats is sellers of condos. It might not be great, but it'll be better than I think it's been. So
I think so too. I mean, you're looking at, I've known people who, I remember years ago, I sold this condo. I'm pretty sure my investor ladies picked it up for 75 grand, and it was cute. Yeah, it was cute. It was like Jasper Place, super cute, 1 bedroom, really neat layout, and it had some furniture that came with it. And they bought it as an income property. The original owner had purchased it 10 years previous for $250. So those are some realities. Now, that same condo, I should actually pull the stats on that building. I bet you it's doing really well. But to add to what Jen was saying, there's apartment condos and there's townhouses and things like that that are strata condos. I think those are the winners. If you've got, and I actually keep meaning to call one of my sellers who has a townhouse in the Clearview area and tell him now's the time. Mm-hmm. Now's the time. So if your realtor says to you, I'm going to watch the market, they will. And they will remember you because I just sold two condos in kind of the Clearview area, and my sellers did, like pretty well. So yeah. And we got 2 buyers that are pretty happy. So yeah.
Any other final thoughts on the market?
I find a lot of buyers are still on the fence as well.
Yes.
Especially, the political issues with our neighbor where Jen lives. Or is right now.
He who must not be named.
Right. So so there's a lot of hesitation with people where that is concerned. But like if you have your down payment, if everything is already prepared for you, get that pre-approval, because this is a good time for buyers, because sellers who are on the market right now, they are motivated to sell. No one likes moving in the winter. So if they're on the market in the winter time, you could get a decent, negotiation going, and you have less competition from other buyers, because again, no one likes to be out in the winter as much. So for buyers, waiting for the next interest rate is just going to mean that you're probably going to be competing with other buyers. So now is a really good time.
Okay.
And I heard the interest rate might drop again.
I think it is going to drop again. I think it is, because inflation is still in check. I'm going to have a role play question for you, Joseanne. Pretend I'm your buyer and you said all of those absolutely 100% true things to me. And I find what I, the buyer, am going to say to you is, well, if I have all of this choice, I'm just going to wait, because that means the market is going to drop and I'm going to get a better price. Now, how do you address that question?
Based on the trends and based on the stats, overall, our market is increasing year over year. Yeah. If you're going to wait, how many other buyers are waiting? Yeah. So when you're on the market, how many other buyers are you going to be competing with?
Don't be that guy who's like, I'm not going to buy a place in 2019 because the prices are still going to go down. And then go to your friend who did buy in 2019 and be like, man, you're so lucky that you bought. Like, that's no, I'm not lucky. I knew the market was down, and I bought it when it was down. It might not have been the bottom, but at least I still bought it when it was down.
But here's the thing. Sometimes you don't know the market's down, and it's just like your wife is pregnant and here's a house you like that you can afford in a neighborhood you want to live in, and it worked. Like, let's just buy it. Right. And the numbers make sense. So we're just going to buy it. And you got lucky, because if you live in a house 10 years, you're going to see the market go up, go down. Like, we're in our current address 11 years, and we bought it in 2014 at the peak. And I watched us lose almost $100,000 in equity over the next however many years, 6 years or so. And then we're well over that now. Like, we've gained that back and then some. So in the last 11 years, I've watched it go down and come up to the tune of probably $150,000 difference. So yeah.
Worst case scenario, you like sell for what you buy for, let's say in like 10 years. Worst case. Like, I don't think in 10 years you would sell for less, but less maybe a condo. But anyway. That all depends on the condo.
Let's make this an advertisement to people from BC. Apartment condos are not a good long-term investment. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes. Oh my God.
They're a lifestyle investment. That's all. Sorry, Jen. Sorry. I know you're a condo girl. I'm sorry.
No, it is a lifestyle investment. Like you take a huge risk, like with because you don't run the board. You don't you don't know like what could happen with the building,
Mm.
you know? So
I
I
think we all
mean,
know
it's
I'd be
so
running the board. Just saying, if I owned a condo, we're all in
you have like a
agreement.
condo and you're selling, you bought it brand new, like apartment style, and you're selling, before the building envelope uh warranty is up, then you're probably fine. Anyway, but there's like a lot of things. But anyway, so what were we talking about?
10
The closing
years,
remarks.
Oh yeah, so
and
10 years, worst
timeline.
case
Yeah.
scenario, you sell for what you bought for.
Okay.
You're basically like better than renting, in my opinion, because you get all your, it's basically just getting all your rent back minus some fees.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. It's true. Also, even if you lose money, like I had some clients years ago that bought direct from a builder, and forgive me, I don't remember the numbers, but I remember the difference being 50 grand. So let's just say they bought for 400 and they're worth maybe 350 right now. And I had said to him, okay, you've lived here for 6 years. Let's do the math on this 50,000, spread it out monthly over 6 years. And you guys can do the math, but let's say it's $300 because that was around what it was, whatever the numbers were. And I was like, you paid $300 in rent to live here. That is cheaper than if you had rented. So,
and Joseanne and I did a video on renting or buying. Man, rent prices are pretty high. Like I get it, like mortgages are pretty high too, but I mean if you got a solid down payment, it might be and you don't need the flexibility, like why not? Like just buy.
Yeah, I mean, if your credit is there and it works for you.
And move in the worst day of winter, and you're going to get a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I think that honestly, if you want a good deal, buy in December. Nobody is listing in December unless they have to. That's the bottom.
Yeah, December was always like one of my busiest months in real estate. It's like everybody's like, oh, Christmas break. Let's get all the kids moved in and get set up before school starts.
Yeah, I remember last year because I feel like it's like summer, it's hit or miss. So like in last year, my summer was like so crazy. I was literally like, where is this coming from? And my December was so crazy. Like I remember I wanted to go over and help one of my sellers do some painting. And I was literally like, I have a 4-hour window, not a 3-day window. Like I will come over with my best friend and we will help you paint, just because she needed some help and she's awesome. And I've adopted her as a friend now. So we're all good. But I'm anticipating this year, we're going to get like a lot of last minute crush buyers. I really do. And I think prices on new builds are going to soften. I think you guys are going to be seeing more incentives.
Are you sure? I only question that is because in the economic report, it said that new build sale starts are down 11%.
I think they're only down for spec homes.
Oh, okay. Okay,
but that's what I think. We could dig into it. Actually, we could do that. It's not a dig against builders. I'm just saying, if you guys want opportunities, you're sitting on the fence and precipice of opportunity right now, like you are. So don't be a Tommy Texter and like wait until the spring. Okay.
Yeah, I think as in a market, there's opportunity for both buyer and sellers. But yeah, I think we gave you guys the tips on how to use the market to your advantage if you're a seller, how to use the market to your advantage if you're a buyer, and what we see is coming. It's maybe a toss-up because the interest rates could change things a little bit. I'm not 100% sure because that only affects the variable market. So we'd have to look at the bond market for the other rates, the fixed rates. I don't know. We'll see if that counterbalances things and things flatten out. But I think we just had a rate cut. It didn't seem to affect things too much.
I totally thought it would, and even I agree. I don't think it changed anything.
Yeah. Okay, ladies. Well, we're going to wrap it up, I guess, today. Yeah. And if anybody likes this market update to have more charts and graphs, let us know. But we think that just having real talk about the market is probably a little bit more helpful than saying repeating the stats that you could just read on the Facebook page for Real Estate Association of Edmonton. Right. Okay. Anyway, but if you want those charts and graphs, we can come up with something. Let us know. If you have any questions specifically about the market that we didn't cover and you would like us to cover it, next time, let us know. We're going to do market update once a month. So,
Yeah.
so
And
that
what should
help.
people do if they watch the show and they mention they saw the show? And
Oh yeah, I've got a closer here for you
Yeah.
guys. Yeah. It's just on a different page, so I'm coming up with it.
You
Okay, I
don't
got
have this
it.
memorized.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in to Edmonton Relocation Insider Live. If you found this conversation to be helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss one of these amazing episodes. Got more questions about moving or living in Edmonton? Drop them in the comments. We love hearing from you and we'll always respond. To connect with us, see the description or show notes. Mention that you found us by watching the show, and 274 Podcast Hub will send you a free gift. And don't forget, we're here every Sunday at 1 p.m. Mountain, 3 p.m. Eastern, and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Eastern, answering your questions live. See you next time. Same place, same show. Until then, take care.
Bye.
And now I'm going to do the closing thing. So see you guys.